So hey everyone, I wanted to make a video today to help people understand the mechanics of how our external world actually reflects our inner world, and why, if we want to change the outcomes we create, we have to actually change how we see ourselves internally. To do this, I want you to imagine for a moment that you're living inside a field of possibility, and that at any given moment, you're not seeing all of that possibility. You're only actually seeing a tiny fraction of it. And that isn't just a nice idea. It's actually how our perception system works. Your brain is actively filtering reality. Your eyes are, your ears are. Your eyes, for example, are only able to see, I think it's 0.003% of what actually exists in the electromagnetic spectrum. Your ears are only detecting a tiny range of frequencies that are available. So at any one time, what you're experiencing is only a small abstraction of what's actually available to you in the field around you, right? Now, here's where this gets fascinating, or it does to me. What governs what you notice in that field is largely based on how you see yourself. So, in other words, your identity starts to influence what your brain, your eyes, and your ears are actually filtering for. Let me give you a simple example. So imagine you decide that you're going to buy a particular car. Well, suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere. You see adverts for it, you see deals for it, you notice magazine articles for it, you see people driving it on the streets. It's like that car suddenly appeared in the world, but it didn't happen that way. Those cars were always there. You just didn't notice them because they weren't meaningful to you before. But the moment you made the decision that the car mattered, your perception system started filtering information for it. And something similar happens with your sense of self and your identity, right? So when you see yourself in a certain way, you start tuning into the parts of life that match that identity. You notice certain opportunities, certain conversations, certain possibilities, and you don't notice others. And those things then influence how you behave. So then your behavior starts shaping the environment around you, the work you do, the friends you have, the relationships you have, the places you spend time. And over time, your environment begins to literally reflect the identity that you're living from, which is why the outside of our lives often looks like a mirror of the inside. It's not because the world suddenly changed, it's because the way we're filtering and then responding and behaving towards it has changed. Now, here's the really fascinating thing to me. Most of who we believe ourselves to be isn't chosen. It's conditioned. It's learned from family, friends, school, the culture we live in, and then it's rehearsed over and over again until it looks solid. But it isn't actually solid. It just appears to be solid because we've done it so much that the environment now reflects it so completely. But that's also why, if we want something different on the outside of our lives, it actually means we have to begin with shifting on the inside who we believe ourselves to be. Not just what we think, but our identity, how we see ourselves. Because the moment identity changes, perception starts to change. And when perception changes, the possibilities we notice begin to change. And then so does the environment and the outcomes that we create in response to it, which can pose its own challenges, which I'll address in another video.